Hello, welcome back to the Beard Before Wicket podcast. Firstly, I want to say thank you very much for your support on the Shakib Al Hassan episode. If you are new here, this is your second time you're figuring out if you want to stay, then make sure you do. Let's talk about the Ashes, boys. Firstly, Rash, how many wickets did you get in your last match?
3.
Just wanted to clarify.
Why?
We were having a chat before saying Rash is going to get two, 3. We basically predicted how many wickets he'd get and how many runs he'd get. And I think I said 3.
How many runs did you say I get?
I said 20. I was campaigning for you to be up the order.
Deluded there.
Anyway, let's talk about Ashes. England are 2-0 down. Is it over? Do you think it's over?
No, it's not. Of course, it's not over. There's 3 games left. But I think out of both the games, they'll be more disappointed with this one, purely because of we were in positions there where we could have made the most of it, like batting first innings. Yeah, we scored 300 plus, but in the Ashes, you need to score a lot more than that, or at least 400 plus. So I just felt like those were the key moments, and there was a moment where with the ball as well, we just our tactics they went wrong. We went in Australia. You still got to pitch the ball up, and I thought we bowled quite short for a long period of time, probably too long. So yeah, I think this one they'll be more disappointed with because there were times we could have won this.
You did. I think Rash, you said England. Did you say England would win?
We both said 3-2. So
yeah, but at the Gabba,
I said we're gonna win this one. Yeah.
I can't remember saying anything.
I don't think you said they'd win at the Gabba because we were saying after 39 years England haven't won there.
I was saying it will be tricky because this is the first pink, like for a lot of them, first pink ball game under lights.
It actually made as much of a difference as everyone thought it was going to.
Well, it's a new experience for most of them. They've not played under them conditions, not faced them kind of bowlers as well. It's not like they're playing against lesser bowlers. It's still.
I think it's the twilight period.
Mm.
So I don't know if you saw the last session. There was always a lot of wickets, or not a lot, but the most last session of each day.
Just after tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last session, which is after tea, is.
Yeah, I was trying to think the timing in it. You were saying
it's the twilight period.
Okay, what time was that?
After tea. For the last session.
I'm talking about actual time in it.
Oh yeah, whatever the time is doesn't matter.
No, because I just wanted to see what time twilight is. I actually wanted to see what time twilight is, but.
So yeah, so that period, the ball seems to do more and just probably a bit quicker and stuff. So.
I think also it makes it quite tricky with the lighting because the light probably really kicks in then as well.
A few pundits, Mark Butcher, one of them, I said that this is like a second string Aussie side. He said because obviously they're without Hazelwood and Cummings. Personally, I feel that's quite harsh. Like obviously they're 2 unbelievably good bowlers, but Stark's been in top form, and I don't think it's. In my opinion, I don't think it's quite second string. But do you think this is like classic Grand Rush?
Yeah, no.
I actually a little bit. I don't. Yeah, I agree with Butch because if you think about it, Lyon didn't play, Cummins didn't play, Hazelwood didn't play. That's 3 of your probably front line attack.
And with Stark as well.
And then you have Stark as the only guy who's obviously regular with them guys. I don't think of anybody else, is it?
But the only thing you would say though is
if one of those are injured. So. But they're quality bowlers. Like Boland's a proper good bowler. And he just keeps it simple, does a job. Probably one of the better bowlers in Australia, obviously. But I think he's right in terms of bowling attack, which there is a second string bowling attack.
I think if you consider that with the fact that England haven't won yet, and the pressure's now starting to mount aggressively, and then Stokes basically said the pressure's actually getting to the team. Rash, obviously, like you've played for England many, many times. When he says like pressure's potentially getting to the team, does he potentially mean like outside pressure, inside pressure, pressure in a match?
I think just in general. But I think it'll be a lot different when you play in the Ashes because you're away from home and there's a lot of noise around, especially if you lose the first 1-2 games. That kind of pressure of on the field, off the field, just daily life in the papers and stuff like that as well. But I think in terms of cricket-wise, because you mentioned something about the actual batters, or the playing style of how the pressure is getting of batting longevity and batting situations like that. So that kind of pressure is getting to them as well. That way.
Ashes pressure. There's no pressure like Ashes pressure away from home in cricket.
Explain that to people.
So like that's probably you for man on paper you could probably have the better team. But playing in Australia and beating them in Australia, it's just much harder than man for man. There's more to it. There's a mental side of it. There's physical side of it, but it's such a mental, because everyone's almost against you. You're in the papers all the time, whatever. The media is always on your back. One mistake, Jamie Smith, I think, dropped one catch, and they were just the whole day the crowd was on his back. Every time the ball was thrown into him, cheering, all these kind of things. And you're expected to do well. And this is something that you've been building up for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years. And once it goes wrong early, you're in trouble for the rest of the series. And that's always been the case. England still have obviously a chance because there's 3 games, but the Ashes is different. Away from home is very, very hard.
I was quite surprised he said it, to be honest.
Who?
Stokes. Said that the team's feeling the pressure at this stage because England desperately need to win the next one.
No, but he's probably just talking more so reality, innit? He's trying to be real. He don't want to be too, like you say, in that their own bubble of saying, we haven't felt no pressure and stuff, because from outside you can see that there's pressure. But there's pressure generally anyway in cricket, but more so the Ashes. So I think from outside, if we can see that, he would say that, because he don't want to be talking not real in that sense.
He's also probably trying to get the guys going a bit more. I mean, he's probably has obviously motivated, and the motivation should always be there, but it's probably just trying to, you're trying to give the guys a bit more, need a bit more. Need more from the.
Do you think as players that works? As in, if say you open your Sky app or whichever app it is, and it comes up saying Stokes questions team's mentality, do you think as a player you go, you know what, I need to get going? Or do you think, or has he, maybe even he told you before he was going to do it?
I think it works differently for everybody. Some people really enjoy that. Some people don't enjoy that as much. Some people really get a fight from that. Some don't. So I think it's up to the individual. But like you said, when Stokes said that, it would definitely give the squad, a team, a bit more of a, right, okay. Because they already know they're 2-0 down. It's just a must win now every game. So they've got that added pressure on anyway to win the next 3 games. It's a must. It's not like a thing of, we got a game to lose or here and there. They've got no choice. So by him saying that, it may change the attitudes of generally the whole squad. They may come out fighting or have that little bit more thing in them. But that's like an individual thing.
One thing with Stokes, he's backed a lot of these players who people are always calling for them to be dropped. He's stuck with these guys. So he's shown his faith in these players, which is fine, which is good. And, it brings consistency and all that. But I think he's probably saying it for, he needs something back now. This is a time to deliver. I've backed you, or every single one of you have backed all the way through. And maybe you guys need to deliver for me a bit more now. This is the time. This is why I backed you. And sometimes it's motivation. Sometimes it could be, like you said, somebody might be reading that and be thinking, what? I need to step up here, at least for the captain. There's, because there's a lot on Stokes. He's got a lot on his plate already. Captain, batting, bowling, fielding, and then the players are not probably as mental, because they are strong, mentally strong. You have to be mentally strong to play, but you just need to be stronger.
It's an interesting strategy, because when I saw it, I thought, but obviously I've never been in the camp. I don't know what players will react like, and I thought this might be a time to reduce the pressure, maybe. But then
no, but you don't want.
But maybe it's a good time.
You just don't want it to slip away either.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Otherwise, it's too late.
You can easily, you're 2-0 down, and I've been there. It's like no one says anything. All of a sudden, 3-0 down, 4-0 down.
It's too late.
It's obviously way too late. So it's probably the right time to do it.
Yeah.
You said you've been there. Was that when you played in the Ashes?
Yeah. Away from home.
And then what happened differently then when you're saying nothing happened?
It's like it doesn't go like that. It keeps going down.
But
that's
I think
happened for years.
Yeah.
That's always happened away from home. Apart from the one time we did win recently.
But I think, like I say, at that time you need somebody, like I said, like a Stokes to actually, which is what he's doing, to stand up to say, right, guys, this is what it is. This is reality. This is how we can go about things, as opposed to, like we saw, just let things go ahead, because if you lose the next game, the series is done. So somebody like Stokes would say that, just purely because why? We need to get the team together and say, right, this is reality check. We've got 3 games left. We need to win. It is pressure, but this is what it is. Find a way to deal with it. How are we going to back the next game? But really be that person, which he is to that person, to really give them all, like you said, that motivational thing of, right, got to go. No choice but to win the next 3. Simple.
You mentioned James Smith's drop catch. There's 5 drop catches.
Yeah.
Was this one of these freakish days where like this can just happen. It's always weird when like it's not the same.
Do you know what it is? It's pressure. It's probably lack of concentration because there's so much other things happening. Maybe the guys are thinking about their own form, think about, damn, we're going to be 2-0 down. Everyone's going to be on my case. And then all of a sudden, a catch comes and you're not 100%, in tune with the game. So I would actually put it down to just concentration. Guys practice a lot of catching. They do all these kind of things. It's just Australia haven't dropped many. I mean, 1 or 2, but just.
But it is one of those days. There's times where you see games where people drop 3-4 catches in a day. Some people drop 2. It's just one of these things that happens because you got to remember how the catches. I can't remember how were the easy catches. Were they like just dollies or were they actually half chances?
No, they were like catches. I mean, they're not.
No, but sometimes you look at the catches thinking, right, you're at slip. Oh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
All 5 were definitely catchable.
Okay.
They weren't like unbelievably hard. I mean, catches are not easy, but like you train for the last. I know the preparation's been for this, and dropping 1 or 2, okay, is fine. Everyone doesn't expect you to catch 100%, but drop 5 within, I think, in a session probably, or like 4 in a session. Yeah, it's at crucial times as well, and this is where you have to win those moments in the Ashes series to win the series or win games. You got to take those catches.
Yeah, you need things
difficult, but you got to take them.
You need things to go almost your way. Especially if you're down in the series, you need.
I'll give you Jamie Smith's, like, for example, right? It was early. Travis Head nicked. I mean, it wasn't easy. Like one of those high dropped it, but you get him early.
Swings.
Then the rest come in with a newer ball.
The whole momentum of the test match.
The bowlers are pressure. Nick. All of a sudden, Australia 3 down. Whereas that then they have a partnership of, I don't know, 70, 80, whatever it was.
Changes
just
shift.
Everything changes.
Shifts momentum.
Have you ever had any stories of like a fielding day like that? Like where
many?
But personally ourselves.
Yeah.
Personally, and as a team, that happens. It happens a lot, but
it's like the ball follows you sometimes.
Yes.
Like for example, you drop a catch early on in a game. Your mindset's thinking, right, I hope the ball. It can hope it don't come to me again.
Yeah.
Or a catch doesn't come, and all of a sudden the catch comes to you. And it's like half, 50-50. You go for it. Okay, you got a hand to it. It's dropped. The ball's following me. And another time the ball it's a misfield. You think one of these days.
You're moving positions to even like even the captain will realize, and he's like, go to a position where the ball.
Yeah, because you're having an off day. It doesn't matter. You're having an off day. It happens.
It comes there. That's just.
But these things happen. But like I say, in the context of the game itself, the chances need to be taken for England to, like I say, for everything to go their way.
One very good thing happened for England. Root got his century. You predicted that, by the way.
Yeah, I asked him.
You asked him when he's getting it.
So before the series, what do you reckon? He said, "Yeah, no, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm joking."
Do you think this adds more to the conversation we've had constantly about like him now being one of the greats? Because a lot of the papers after everyone went, "Oh, that's it now. He's 100% in the greats list because he's got that 100 in Australia." Or do you think this is just Root's getting 100 in Australia?
There was a lot of noise, I think, prior to that. Obviously, for the years, but before that, not getting 100, and it is, like I say, a big thing getting 100 in the Ashes, because it's one of the biggest series for England in playing that. So I think for him to get that, he would feel a bit more relaxed.
Still a great. Lara didn't score 100 at Lords.
Did not? Yeah, and Hayden did. I'm sure Matthew Hayden was saying a few things. But they actually compared Hayden's record in England to Joe Root's record in Australia. Root's record is better. Just as a thing of saying, right, okay.
So there was a lot of talk about this, right? And I get 100, whatever people.
Yeah.
His Gabba record in itself.
Joe Root.
I think he had 2 80s and a 70, or 2 80s and a 90.
Yeah.
That's what, 15 runs. He was 85 or something.
And he must have played what? How many games there? 5, 6 in his career?
Yeah. So, like, what, for the sake of 15 runs, he's saying he's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, because 100 is just a number, isn't it?
It is just a number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to get 100 away, and he was always going to get 100. I won't be surprised if he gets 2 more.
Yeah. I reckon so.
Series. That wouldn't stop him from being one of the greatest ever.
So if he didn't get 100s...
No, irrelevant, because if you actually look at the other greats who have played, there've been times where a great's not been great in India, for example, or not done well in England. This is exactly the same thing as Rooty, but Rooty actually probably done a lot better than the rest.
Yeah.
in Australia. His average is probably close to 40, 30, I don't, but 38, 40, which is good. But if you compare it to the other greats who struggled in England, who've not got a Test match 100 in England, you compare that, I think he's ahead in that way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He's one of the greatest. If he goes past Sachin, I would said for me he's be the greatest ever Test player. Better.
People hate hearing that, innit?
Yeah, but it's the truth.
Factually.
Yeah.
Did
Has to be.
Sachin struggle anywhere in particular?
No, Sachin did really well
He's like
everywhere.
well-rounded, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, all the greats are.
Yeah.
Root hasn't struggled in Australia.
Yeah, it's just not.
Just hasn't scored 100.
Yeah.
Lara hasn't scored one at Lords. I don't think Sachin scored one at Lords. Might be wrong there, but can you just check?
Let's check that.
But like I said, all the greats, I wouldn't say struggle, but if they go on each country, some countries they'll be down in terms of average of 5'10". You know what I mean?
According to this,
he hasn't. In England, not allowed.
Sachin never scored a Test match century at Lords, which is surprising for me. Yeah, apparently never scored a Test match century.
I don't think Lara did either.
Lara didn't.
What does that make him now? If you make
that's what I'm saying.
He didn't score 100 Lords. They're the greatest players ever.
But it's more so, you know how it is. It's more so the Aussies,
Aussie also
papers, the pundits and stuff like will really get stuck into everything because they love it out there. They love getting stuck into.
And that's what you say.
Stuck into England with anything.
For me, that makes Root even greater. The fact that there's more pressure on him. You know, like all these guys saying that, all these greats are saying that you're not a great because you haven't scored in Australia, and then you go and two games later you score it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, both of you said he would because you said he's that sort of character.
Yeah, he's that sort. I won't be surprised if he scores 2 or 3.
Quite interesting because he comes across as like a very quiet guy.
He is
quiet.
Very nice guy.
He's
very
quiet,
nice,
quiet,
guy,
calm.
but he's
Hardworking though.
super, like proper hardworking, and he's determined, and
he's still fairly young if you actually think about it, compared to us two. He's actually still
33, 34?
35.
34, 35.
He's still got another potentially 4 or 5 years if he wants to keep going in that way. He keeps going for another 4 or 5 years.
34.
Wow.
He'll go for another 4 years.
Finally, I think it's time for some changes to the team. At what point do you start making changes? You're 2-0 down. If you lose the last one,
I don't think they'll change, but it'll become a bit more of a right, especially in the seam department, a bit more rotational thing. Because what they want to do is bring Woody back. I don't know if he's fully fit.
He's not 100% fit, I don't think he said.
So the change, who do you make for changes? In the seam department.
I actually think they were bowled a bit tired, weirdly, because the first 2 games first game was only 2 days.
It's hard though, innit? I don't think tired. I think most of the situation of the game. Because if the situation was different and they had the same mind, in terms of how they feel, you know what I mean?
Think
the situation of the game which determined how they bowled or how they didn't bowl.
I still think in a way the problem is England don't bat long enough.
Well, they've got Jaxie at 8 now.
No.
Oh, you mean just as in Test cricket?
Yeah. So like I think
if you looked at it, so these Test matches are only gone for 6 days.
I think we played only 67 overs. This first innings. Second innings obviously a lot shorter. So you're always constantly like the bowlers are not resting as much. But still, I felt like our paces were down a little bit. Second spells.
I think
who would you change? Who do you bring in? I don't know. Who do you bring in? Woody. If Woody was fully fit, obviously, then him and Joff.
You kind of need a little bit more pitch up bowlers
with lesser pace, like somebody like Nisa.
Well, no, not so much. Like a Boland, someone who's just quick enough to like bounce you and hit you, but just pitch. It's not even so much the pace. It's not even the pace.
You mean the length? You mean a wicket to wicket type? Not wicket to wicket, but a bit more top of off, just start full of length. Keep attacking the stumps and driving. Okay.
The other suggestion online is Bethel's coming at 3, Pope to move down in place of Jamie Smith. That's the very popular one that people are saying.
And then
Pope to what? Sorry,
Pope to keep.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Has he kept? Has he ever kept for England?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah. It's like Bethel at 3 is not easy.
A huge amount of pressure because this is the crunch game.
I don't think they will do that.
No,
I think.
Did Pope get runs last Test?
Yeah.
We're struggling this
first Test he got. He's the only one who scored. I think him and Rookie. They're the only ones who scored any sort of runs.
Yeah, so I don't know what they'll do with that.
It's the way you're playing. So I think this game, Pope is a very good player, but he's very frantic
Loose.
for number 3.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's not so much the runs are it's the way you're playing, and I think he's almost a little bit too frantic. Whereas if you look at Zach Crawley, I don't know, like I like it. I'm a big fan of his batting. After a pair, they got 2 notes. He still just played calm. Obviously got caught on ball, but he was just playing. It's not frantic.
Mm.
And I think Pope just is a little bit. He's a very good player.
I think the suggestion is to take Jamie Smith out, bring Bethel in.
When you say suggestion from who?
Just online, people were discussing what to do for this next test, how to fix England.
Are these just random people or are these more like pundits?
A
Bethel,
few pundits have said as well.
Bethel fine, but a 3 is high, and there's. But end of the day, look, you need guys who have scored runs, and can score runs, and he'd be fine. He can handle it, as a batter. But then, can you handle the pressure? One thing with Bethel is he hasn't got the hundreds. He hasn't got runs behind him in terms of like.
He's been backed a lot. Like people
as a young player, he's like the next generational player. But I'm a big believer in like scoring hundreds, scoring big runs is a habit.
And that obviously comes from for England comes from first class cricket.
Yeah, of course. And so like you score these like you know how to. It's a know-how thing. You know how to score these hundreds.
Yeah.
I there's no doubt Bethel can handle it.
But
the bowling and the pace but it's like you know how to score those runs.
Yeah, because once you score the big runs as well, you know how to bat and when to soak up the pressure. Yeah. When is the time to actually go a bit? Okay, for example, I'm struggling a bit here today. I'm gonna not play a certain shot and just because once you bat for that longevity and bat for hours and hours in a game and get hundreds, gives you that experience. Like so with Bethel, he hasn't done that as yet. But like I said, that can change even in test matches, whatever. But that's the difference between somebody who's batting 3, who's scored runs and churned them out in first class cricket. Even that, somebody who's got the potential to churn out runs and not yet had that opportunity to play a lot more.
It'd be great to bring him in if we were playing so well, and there's a spot opened up and he comes in at 6. That's how you bring youngsters. I believe you bring the younger players in to put him straight through, unless there's a genuine.
Yeah, but also depends now. Next test, if who comes in for Australia is the seam bowlers are going to be the same. People are going to come in. Are they fully fit?
Probably comes in because
Cummings, Hazelwood, Lion back in as well.
Lion will be back
after his.
And that's why like these like the Joe Roots and that, when they get to like 40, 50, most of the time now it's going to be 100 because they know how to do it. Yeah. They've done it so many times, and obviously the more them guys do it, just as soon as they hit 50, it's 100. Like Virat in ODI cricket, he scores 30, 40 not out. You're almost guaranteed 100.
Yeah. Finally, what do you think happens next?
Well, simple, isn't it? England got to win the next 3 games to win the Ashes. It's going to be very, very, very tough. Yeah. Still doable. Like I still got a chance, like I say, in that sense, but it's going to be tough. Like I said, we know how McCullum and Stokes work in terms of how they'll remain positive and stuff and making sure that everybody's up for it and have that never give up mentality. We know that as well, but I think it's one thing going to be saying it, other things doing it. It's the hard bit, especially being 2-0 down. They've got no choice but to win. So they'll have to find a way for each individual to be like, right, okay, we've got to make sure that we're all up for it as we are, but we have to win. We've got no choice.
I think there has to be changes in the team. And Bethel might be a good shout still. I'm not saying... Because when we were 2-0 down at home, we brought Walks in and Wood in. And it just changed everything. I think just a bit more like experience, energy. It's just different.
Yeah.
They just need that sometimes to give you a bit of a lift. I do believe there has to be some changes.
Well, more so in the batting or bowling department, a bit both?
It just changes.
All right. Well, if you enjoy this, make sure you drop a like. Let us know your thoughts on the Ashes or what your predictions are. If you think England are going to make a comeback, as it stands, my prediction is the only one that's going to be correct because I said Australia to win, but I did say 3-2. But
3-2-2
Australia.
Okay.
But it means England have to win 2, which I don't think that's going to happen right now. But let us know in the comments. Obviously, subscribe if you're new, and if you're listening on any of the platform, make sure you follow us. We'll see you on the next one.